What's good, guys? So as you can see, I'm in a hotel room right now. I don't know why they put me in a 2-bed. I don't plan on having no visitors while I'm here, so who knows? Yeah, so I'm about to pick up a load tomorrow going from London, Kentucky, where I'm at, to Baytown, Texas. So that's paying me a nice little sum of money. I was able to work them up to $1,900, and it's a 900-mile trip. So I'm getting paid pretty decently on that. As far as me being a new authority, I seen somebody comment, and I believe his name is I Am Richie. So shout out to you for leaving a comment. I told you I was going to do a response to some of those questions that you had, but just one of the ones that I remember off the top of my head was, how do I get loads being a new authority? Next week, actually, will be 60 days as with my authority. My authority will be 60 days old. And I have been hearing from certain companies that they only work with 6 months. So most of the time, if they only work with 6 months or they have some type of stipulation on it, they'll put that in the comments of the loads on the load board. So you kind of already know. Some companies really don't do it, but I have actually talked to certain companies that would have worked with me, but they didn't because my authority isn't old enough. A lot of these major brokers like TQL, Total Quality Logistics, Landstar, I've worked with Hurricane, and a few others. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but you do have brokers that do have that stipulation. So this is the thing you really want to focus on when you're driving as a new authority. You want to have your loads take you to areas of the country that, this is for over the road, by the way. If you're doing Amazon, this really don't apply to you because Amazon, as long as you can get to Amazon, you can go anywhere and be cool. But like if you are doing over the road, then this applies to you. So my mom is my dispatcher, right? So we're not paying nobody to dispatch us. You see what I'm saying? When we looking for these loads, we want to go to areas of the country that has a lot of volume with loads. So we want to go to places that are taking us to other places as we're booking these loads. Pickup is in a good area, drop off is in a good area. Now, what I will say, when you driving some of these roads over these loads, right, you're going to notice that the loads going into places that are dry, when it comes to these loads, they're paying really good out the gate. So you might see a load going to, let's say, Salt Lake City, Utah, which is a pretty dry area. You might see a load taking you out there and say it's 1,000 miles to get there. Their offer on the load that they put on the load board might be $2,300. So out the gate, you looking at it like, dang, I'm getting paid $2.30 a mile, right? So it looks good ideally, but the reason why they're paying that rate out the gate, so you can actually kind of negotiate up a lot of the times, but the reason why they're posting that low out the gate is because it's a dry area. So many people really don't want to go there. You see what I'm saying? So like if I'm taking a load to Chicago, right, which is one of the #1 places in the country when it comes to volume of loads. If I'm taking a load to Chicago, I might not get the best rate, but you gonna make your money. It's gonna make sense because you have access to so many loads. And you might find a really good load coming out of Chicago. Why? Because it's a lot of loads out there. So most of the time it's based on, think about it, supply and demand. When there's more supply, the demand goes down. When there's less supply, the demand goes up. So if you're going to a place that has little to no loads, the reason why they don't pay that good is because it's not that many loads in the area, so they don't have to pay that good because they know that whoever's in this area is desperate to get out this area. And if they don't take your load, they're going to kind of be forced to deadhead, which they're not making anything. So to kind of supplement your deadhead, you would take a terrible load, so you're not losing as much money. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So with that being said, when you start dispatching yourself or you have a dispatcher, make sure that's one of the criterias that you look for, loads going to places that have a lot of volume. How do you figure this out? Well, before you actually book the load, I got this load going to Baytown, Texas, right? Before I even booked the load, I actually searched how many loads today were in Baytown, Texas. So now I have an idea what I'm gonna be dealing with come Monday when I'm actually in Baytown, Texas, and I need to get out. So Baytown, Texas is right by Houston. Houston is another hub of the South when it comes to loads. So I'm gonna have plenty of loads to choose from coming out of Houston. So it makes sense. You see what I'm saying? So that's just something that you want to keep in mind. So it gives you options as well, because you might go to a place, right? You might be like, you know what, F it. I got a load right now. It's 1,000 miles and they paying me 3,500. Let's not even say 3,500 because that's so unrealistic. Let's say I got 1,000 mile load, you know what I mean? And it's paying me 2,800, right? That's great. $2.80 a mile on a trip that large. That's great, right? And you say, F it, I'm gonna go. Now, mind you, at the time that you make this decision, you within the 90 days. So your authority is not 90 days old yet. You get out to wherever you're going and this place is dry as hell. When you get out there, say if it's only 2 loads on the load board at the time, right? And you call these people trying to get these loads because you like, you know what? I made a good amount of money coming out here. I'm not really tripping right now because that's really low key just adding to what I already made. They might tell you we don't work with new authorities. So now you really stuck. You forced to be stuck. You're not giving yourself options to wiggle. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it's really crucial that you go to places that have a lot of loads. Now, when you are up and running, you 6 months old or older in your authority, you kind of have that wiggle room to go places that might not be that high in volume because you know that regardless of the fact, I have access to these loads. Whether they work with new authorities or not, I have access to these loads. And then there's a few companies that don't, that I know out the gate. It's one called LR and JB Hunt. JB Hunt is a huge distributor and transportation company. They will not let you drive their loads if you're not like 90 days old, I believe. So regardless of how bad they need this load moved, you are not going to be the one to move it. They'll rather sit on it than let anybody that's less than 90 days old move that load. So you also asked the question saying, how did I get started with box trucking? It's a long story, and I'm not going to lie, that story probably needs its own video. So just a quick, brief understanding in a nutshell. I've been studying trucking for 3 years. My mom got interested in it, and we decided to go in together. That's it in a nutshell. Now, of course, I'm gonna go into detail in another video, but that's legit a topic for a whole dedicated video just for that. You see what I'm saying? And then another question that you asked was, and I mentioned it in my video, actually probably earlier in this video, so I actually think I answered your question. But you asked, how much did it cost to get started? And it's gonna be different for everybody. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's gonna be different from everybody, depending on how you wanna run your business. What's your business model? So me, I rent trucks. And with that being said, to operate the business, the operation cost is going to be higher because I rent the truck. You see what I'm saying? But the initial down payment that you have to make into the business to get into business and make money is a lot less than if I went and put a down payment on the truck, which could be at least 30% or 50%, 30%. Well, let's say, depending on your credit, it's so many factors to that, but let's just say 30% or more. You see what I'm saying? So that can be easy $10,000, $15,000 coming out of my pocket out the gate. You see what I'm saying? And then this is just how I look at it. I don't want to get too deep into the whole, oh, I'm pro buying trucks. Oh, I'm pro renting trucks, because that's not why I got into this business. I'm not against buying trucks by any means. Actually, I will own some trucks one day. They're not going to be box trucks. I'm going to own semis. See, the reason why I'm even in the box truck game right now is because I don't have a CDL. And eventually I plan on scaling into semis and potentially scaling into hazmat. My initial startup cost was around $4,000 for everything, the truck included, down deposit on the truck included. You see what I'm saying? It was around $4,000. So instead of, and the value of the truck that I'm driving, if it was to sell, if I was to go out there and sell it, if it was my truck and I go sell it, I could sell that truck for 70 G's. So if I'm putting a down payment on this truck, right? Let's say it's 30%. 30% of 70, let's say it's like 25. 25 G's coming out my pocket to invest in this truck. That don't make sense. To me, it don't make sense if it's a box truck. If you own semis, that makes way more sense because the amount of money that a semi pulls in a week, it's basically double of what a box truck does. So if you've been watching these videos on how much people are pulling in with these non-CDL vehicles, just double it. And that's basically what CDL vehicles do, right? So it's very low entry on cost. Now, I will say, make sure that you go ahead and pull the trigger now if it's something that you want to do, because the way it's looking, there's so much demand for this stuff that every day this shit is getting more expensive. So if you really want to do it, just do it. Just do it. Muster up all the money you can. If you have to, bring a business partner in with you. You know what I mean? And get to grinding. Get to the grind. You know what I mean? Because it's out here. I don't care if your authority's only a day old. It's out here for real. So go ahead and get it. Go ahead and get it. So for those other questions that you had, like I said, I'll be making a video for that soon. So just be on the lookout. If you want to see that video, go ahead and subscribe. You see what I'm saying? For everybody else, if you want to keep seeing this box truck information and you want to see these videos, I'm doing them vlog style, go ahead and subscribe. I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all the game. Like, I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm giving it to y'all raw and uncut. Honestly, like, for real. Y'all gonna learn something watching me. So you're gonna learn about my failures. You're gonna learn about how I won. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to watch more box trucking content on how to grow and gain financial freedom, subscribe, because them videos is on the way. I'm going to try to upload a video at least once a week. I really want to upload more than that. But while I'm incorporating this new aspect of my life, making these videos into my business and my life, you know, I'm going to ease into it. So at a certain point, I'm going to be uploading a lot more. But for now, expect a video once a week. You see what I'm saying? And if you got any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I will try my best to answer them. You know what I mean? And I'm going to keep it real, honest, and uncut with you. I'm not going to pump fake you. I ain't going to try to make it seem like I'm a god and I'm doing all these different things that you can never do. Because if I can do it, for sure, you can do it. You see what I'm saying? So thanks for watching, y'all. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Deuces.